Thank you to everyone who's joined. I'm going to give it a few more moments to let other people join, and then I will get started. If you can let me know if my sound is coming across okay, that would be great. I have a Q&A feature where you can type your questions and comments. Thank you, Laura. Thanks, Joe and Jennifer. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. I'm echoing. Can anyone else hear an echo? Okay. If you have a smartphone, Natalie, you can basically just hover your camera, like act like you're taking a picture of the QR code and then press on the QR code on your screen. Okay. Lauren, it looks like other people can't hear an echo, so that just might be an issue with your sound. Thank you. Okay, cool. It looks like Charlotte can hear echo. I would say the majority of people are saying that there's no echo. Um, so it might just be an issue with your computer. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you do have a smartphone, you can scan this QR code. Don't worry if you don't have a smartphone or you don't want to go about creating your Savvy account that way. There's going to be other ways for you to sign up. Everyone who registered for this webinar will be getting an email after the session. It's an hour-long session. Even if you have to dip off early, everyone will be getting an email with instructions on how to sign up. So don't worry if you cannot scan this QR code. Housekeeping, this is being recorded, so everyone will have access to it. A lot of you have seen the Q&A. That's how we're going to communicate. I really do try to make these webinars as interactive as possible. So any questions or comments, concerns, just type them out and we will be able to respond to you. And if you need to enable closed captioning, that is a feature on Zoom as well. Hello, everyone, again. My name is Dylan, and I am a customer support manager here at Savvy. I really appreciate your time and being here today, so thank you. Meet Savvy, you are our top priority. We're here to serve student loan borrowers, not the student loans. I think one of the best aspects about Savvy is that we have insider information. We have over 2 decades of expertise, and a lot of people that work at Savvy currently have student loans or previously had student loans. And I definitely think that that allows us to know exactly what you're going through. And in turn, that allows us to help you even more. Also, our location, we are based in Washington, D.C. We are steps away from the White House, and that is especially important to our policy team. So, whenever there is anything going on with the federal student loans, any policy updates, etc., our policy team is in the first to know because they are in Washington, D.C., and they relay that information to us, the customer success team, and that way we are able to relay it to our users. So if you are a Savvy member, just know that you will always have the most accurate and up-to-date information. Lastly, saving has never been easier. We help all of our users take advantage of the forgiveness options that they qualify for and also repayment options. I think Savvy is a great program to sign up for because it really allows you to create an account and see everything that you qualify for in one place. I feel like it could be super overwhelming and confusing to research a bunch of these programs on your own and also try to figure out if you have the right loan type or not, or if you need to consolidate or not, or if you're in the right or wrong repayment plan. So if you do sign up for Savvy, just know that we will do that for you. We will make sure that you do qualify, and if you don't, we will help you take steps to get there. So you can definitely have the confidence knowing that if you do sign up for Savvy, that we're always going to lead you in the right direction when it comes to saving the most money on your loans. A little bit more about us. We partner with a bunch of different employers and membership orgs to offer our services. I've been working for Savvy for 5 years now, and it's been so exciting to see how much we've grown over time. As of today, we have over 500 companies in the Savvy community. Here on the right are a few of the larger companies that we do work with. Also, we are available to you and your family members. So if you do have family members that have federal student loans, maybe they are overwhelmed with all of these policy updates going on, maybe they need help reaching forgiveness, maybe they have an issue with their servicer, whatever the reason may be, they can sign up for Savvy and take advantage of this program as well, thanks to AARP. And thanks to obviously your membership with AARP. We also help out with anything student loan related. So I know that this webinar is focused on what we help out with most. And those two programs are public service loan forgiveness and income-driven repayment plans. But just know that Savvy helps out with anything student loan related. We do help out with teacher loan forgiveness. We help out getting people out of delinquency and default. The list goes on. So I know that this webinar is catered to those two programs, but just know if you do have federal student loans, Savvy can help with your loans. Okay, getting into some basics about federal loans, starting with servicers. So if you do have federal student loans, you have a servicer, maybe you have more than one. If you can let me know in the Q&A if you see your servicer here. An important note is that Savvy is not a servicer. So even if slash when you decide to sign up for Savvy, your servicer will remain the same. Okay, a lot of people can see their servicers here. I see Mohila, Nelnet, Ed Financial. We have a question saying, I assume Savvy is an acronym. What does it stand for? It's actually not an acronym. A lot of people can see their servicers. And also the thing about servicers that can be kind of annoying is that your federal student loans can jump around. And I think that definitely does confuse a lot of people, but just know you're not doing anything wrong. You can definitely like one day just get a letter and find out that your loans have been sold to a different servicer. There's nothing you can do about it, but just know that's kind of just sometimes how federal loans work. Nice. Moving on to loan types. Loan types are important because they determine your eligibility for forgiveness programs. So I like to start with describing direct loans, and I call them the most basic loan type because they're already eligible for programs like public service loan forgiveness and income-driven repayment plans. So if you have direct loans, whether they're subsidized or unsubsidized, maybe you have a mix of the two, just know that they already qualify for those programs. You don't need to consolidate them. I have a few loan types here that are highlighted in red, FFEL loans and Parent Plus loans. Let me know if anyone in the chat has these loan types. It's totally okay if you do. If you would like to be open to these forgiveness options, then we will help you consolidate your loan types, and that will just change the loan type from a FFEL loan or a Parent Plus loan to a direct loan. And then that way you can get forgiveness down the line. Some of you may have already gone through the consolidation process. Some of you may need help with that. Wherever you are in that stage, Savvy can help you. Joe says no red loan types for me. So it sounds like you have direct loans, which is great. Brenda has Parent Plus loans. We can definitely help you consolidate those. Pauline also has some Parent Plus loans. I think Savvy's a great program to sign up for because consolidation can be kind of confusing and overwhelming if you're doing it by yourself. Um, and also, like if you have a mix of Parent Plus loans and direct loans and FFEL loans, it's really important to make sure that you're only consolidating the loans that need consolidation so you don't mess up your payment history for the other loans that don't need consolidation. So that is honestly a bulk of what we do here at Savvy. Yeah, Melissa, if your loans are already consolidated, we can still help you because even if you have direct loans, and you want to pursue forgiveness, there's still a bunch of paperwork that goes into forgiveness. And lastly, private loans. So these loans are non-federal, so they do not qualify for any type of federal forgiveness. Carmen has direct loans. Nice. Pauline has consolidated already. Nice. Yeah, we have an array of users here at Savvy, so wherever you are in the process, we can help you. Getting into income-driven repayment plans. So, how many people are familiar with these plans? How many people are already enrolled in them? This is definitely also a lot of what we do here at Savvy. I see a lot of people raise their hands. Income-driven repayment plans are also called IDRs for short. There are three at this time. There's Pay, IBR, and ICR. Save does still exist, but it is on hold due to lawsuits. So there could be a lot of people in this webinar that are currently in the Save Plan forbearance. I do have a policy slide on the Save Plan forbearance. So if you do have questions, you can definitely ask. The reason why they're called income driven is because they're predominantly based on your income. So what that means is if you have a higher income, your monthly payment will be higher. If you have a lower income, your monthly payment will be lower. They also do take into account family size, for example, how many dependents you have. IDR plans are great for people with relatively lower incomes because you could be approved for a $0 payment. And even if you are approved for that $0 payment, that payment does count for forgiveness. I also think IDR plans are great for people that are retired because you're not going to be in the workforce anymore. So it's not like your income is growing every year. So if you're retired, an IDR plan is a great idea because it keeps your payment really manageable and low, and you can know what it's going to income isn't necessarily growing. I do have a little bit of information on RAP, Frankie. Natalie, if you don't have income, you can definitely still enroll in an IDR. You don't have to have income. So your payment will be $0 if you don't have any income because they just take into account whatever your income is. Felicia, if you're retired, they just take into account whatever your income is. So at least what I've seen is that it's just your taxable income. So for example, if you do have Social Security, they do take into account that. But if you have no other job, that's the only thing that's taken into account. You're welcome. Marvin, since the loans are in your daughter's name, if she would like to pursue forgiveness, it would have to be through her employer. Um, Forgiveness works, like forgiveness is only based on whoever the loan holder is, even if you're making the monthly payments, because the loans are in her name. Forgiveness would depend on her income and her employment eligibility. You're welcome. No, we don't send information through the mail. We don't have consolidation quotes, Rob. Consolidation is free. It doesn't cost anything to consolidate your loans. Katrina, I get into two types of forgiveness in some upcoming slides. So to stay on your income-driven repayment plan, you do need to recertify every year. And a lot of people do sign up for Savvy because A, they want to find out if they qualify for an IDR plan, and then B, they can enroll in an IDR plan directly through their Savvy account. The application will be filled out on your behalf and we will submit it to your servicer for you. So it definitely takes the stress out of it for our users. And then also because you do need to recertify every year, if you stay with Savvy, that is something we will submit for you every year. And you can have the confidence knowing that your IDR plan will always be submitted on time. Getting into IDR forgiveness. So IDR forgiveness is great because it does forgive the entire balance of your loan. So if you, for example, you're not in public service, so you can't pursue public service loan forgiveness, or you're not a teacher, so you can't do teacher loan forgiveness. In general, if you don't have that employment eligibility factor, but you do have federal loans and you are in an IDR plan, just know that this is a great forgiveness program because it does forgive your loans and you don't have to have that employer eligibility factor. How long you pay depends on the plan. As you can see, pay is going to be 20 years of payments. IBR, you can get forgiveness in 20 or 25 years, depending on when you borrowed. And then ICR is 25 years of payment. So this is definitely a very, very popular program. A lot of Savvy users are pursuing this program. Let me know if you have any questions. An IDR is an income-driven repayment plan. Yuri, how is that process going? If you keep on hitting a wall, I definitely think signing up for Savvy would be a great program so we can help you. Marvin, it depends. It depends on her loan type and her repayment plan and her employment eligibility. Myron, if you do need any help or updates on your account, just reach out to us and we can do that. If you have a Savvy account, just press contact support. Yeah, Frankie, I do have policy slides on the IDR plans going away. Tamara, it's not the role of your job for public service loan forgiveness. It depends on your employer. So if you are a mental health therapist that works at an eligible employer, then yes. But for example, you can be a mental health therapist and work for a private company, and that wouldn't count. So it just depends on the type of employer it is. Getting into some public service loan forgiveness. So you need three main requirements: qualifying employer, which is going to be government organizations at any level, federal, state, local, or tribal, or nonprofit 501(c)(3)s. They define full-time as at least 30 hours, and you can combine multiple part-time jobs to meet that requirement as well. Secondly, you need qualifying loans, so that's going to be direct loans. Going back to my loan slide in the very beginning, if you don't have direct loans, for example, if you have FFEL or Parent Plus, we will help you consolidate those. That way, that to a direct loan, and then you can get your loans forgiven. Thirdly, you do need to be in a qualifying repayment plan. So once you have your direct loans, you need to enroll them in an IDR plan. This is something that we help all of our users with. Um, And then from there, public service loan forgiveness is a 10-year program. So it's going to be one payment every month for 10 years. That totals to 120 payments. Even though it is designed to be a 10-year program, just know that it does usually take people long. That's okay. This program does offer you that flexibility. The payments do not need to be consecutive. And you also can't make extra payments to qualify sooner. So whenever you do reach the 120 payments, that's when the loans get forgiven. How to apply when talking about public service loan forgiveness that you need to apply with. And that form is called the Employment Certification Form, also known as an ECF. How many people are familiar with this form? Have you submitted one by yourself through Savvy? How did it go? Let me know in the chat. This is something that we help all of our users with. And it's great to sign up for Savvy because it is very likely that we already work with your employer. We have over 500 and we are growing. So a lot of companies are familiar with Savvy. So if you do have to submit a form, we will reach out to your employer on your behalf to get the form filled out and signed. And once they fill it out, we will make sure that it is filled out correctly and we will submit it to federal student aid on your behalf. And also, if you have never submitted a PSLF form before, maybe you have a bunch of employers in your past that you need to submit forms for, um, we can do that for you too. So it doesn't just have to be your current employer. It is 100% possible to certify previous employment as well. Yes, Nancy. If the loan is in your name, then yes, you can consolidate that loan. Okay, getting into some policy updates. Let me fish through these questions to see what I can answer. We also have a few people from the customer success team that are answering questions. You are correct, Laura. You can't pay more than a month. You can't make public service loan forgiveness payments in advance. They have to be separate monthly payments. April, as of now, IDRs are not taking, I would say, more than a month, maybe a month and a half max to process. So you can definitely reach out to us because a year ago is way too long. It's probably lost in processing. So for you, we probably just would submit a complaint or resubmit the application. The second half of the presentation, I get into signing up and how to reach out to us. Pauline, yeah, that could be tricky since your provider only shows payments from the date of consolidation, but just know when you do pursue forgiveness, they have your loan information from the day you got your loan, so the disbursement date. So just because you can only see the payments post consolidation, that's not what your servicer sees. So you can still they honor your previous payments and they have that information even though you can't see it. Wanda, an ECF is an employment certification form, and a PSLF is public service loan forgiveness. Brenda, you can look within your federal student aid account to see if your IDR um, is in processing or approved. Yep, this is being recorded and you will have access to it. Wanda, what's the reason for Nelnet canceling your application? Or it could be because you're already on the pay plan. Pauline, I'm not sure what an annuity is, but in terms of the income that they do take into account, it's just taxable income. So if that is taxable, then yes, they take it into account. Wanda, an ECF is the form that you need to pursue public service loan forgiveness. An ECF is not a forgiveness program. That's just the form that you need to submit to receive the forgiveness. Okay. I will definitely leave some time after to answer these questions. We are working to get through these questions. If you cannot get your question answered, I definitely recommend creating a Savvy account so we can give you some one-on-one help, but we will do what we can during the live presentation. So SAVE is ending. It's on its way out. The court settlement, once it's finalized, it would end SAVE. I know a few of you are on the SAVE plan forbearance, so you do have a few options. You can stay in the SAVE plan forbearance or you can switch to a different IDR. I definitely think either option definitely depends on what program you are pursuing. So in some cases, I recommend staying in SAVE. In other cases, I recommend switching to a different plan. Um, it really just depends if you're pursuing teacher loan forgiveness, public service loan forgiveness, IDR forgiveness, etc. If you need help with that, definitely reach out to us so we can give you some one-on-one help and look into your specifics. Wilkin Save is an income-driven repayment plan. Yeah, Yuri. Sometimes it's definitely not worth calling your servicer because it takes so long to get off hold. Just know that there are a few processing delays. So even if you are switching to a different IDR plan or even honestly recertifying or submitting anything to your servicer, it can kind of be a long wait time. Just know that that's just normal right now with everything going on in the student loan space. The repayment system is being rebuilt in real time. Over the next few years, the menu of IDR plans are going away. So a lot of you have been asking about this in the Q&A, but the One Big Beautiful Bill made the repayment assistant plan, also known as RAP, and that is launching July 1st of this year. So when that launches, the IDR plans are going away, specifically pay and ICR. IBR is staying, but the two that are going away are pay and ICR. Um, a little bit of information on RAP. It's designed to prevent balances from ballooning by waiving unpaid interest for borrowers who make their required monthly payment. It also includes a small monthly principal benefit for some borrowers. RAP's forgiveness timeline is longer than the IDRs today. So I know going back to my IDR slide, I was saying how you could receive IDR forgiveness in 20 or 25 years. With RIP, it's not that time frame. It's going to be 30 years until forgiveness. Another update, wage garnishment restarts for defaulted borrowers. So this was actually supposed to start in January, but there has been an update maybe 2 weeks ago. Wage garnishment is currently on hold following recent federal guidance, and enforcement has been paused until further notice. But more information about wage garnishment, it allows for up to 15% of disposable pay to be withheld from each paycheck. It can start quickly, and once you're in default, it can pull money straight from your paychecks without a court order. Once it starts, it's hard to reverse. So, keeping your loans in good standing is also a major, major thing that we do here at Savvy. So, we make sure that our users' loans stay in good standing and don't dip into default or delinquency. If you are in a situation where you're struggling to make your monthly payment or you're even in default and you don't know how to get out, that's something we help users with every day. There's two ways to get out of default. If anyone has questions, let me know. I can quickly go over those options. It depends on which program you're pursuing and depends on your loan type, which route you should go to get out of default, but just know that it is possible and we will help you get your loans back in good standing immediately. More borrowers are falling behind. Many people are choosing between paying their student loans and covering basic needs like rent, food, and utilities. That being said, a lot of people are near this default cliff. We can help you enroll in an IDR plan. We also recommend putting your loans in auto pay so you're not in a situation where you forget a month or two and then all of a sudden your loan dips into default. I do have a major update for Parent Plus borrowers. There is a deadline for you guys if you would like to keep your options open to forgiveness in the future. The rules have changed this year. Borrowers will have fewer repayment and forgiveness options, and timing will matter more than ever. So consolidation is required to keep these options open. Borrowers who don't complete the consolidation by July 1st risk losing access to IDR plans and forgiveness. So if you do have Parent Plus loans and you want to figure out if you should consolidate or not, I 100% recommend creating your Savvy accounts as soon as possible. These deadlines are firm. We are heavily recommending people to those with Parent Plus loans to submit these consolidations by because the deadline is July 1st. So we want to give federal student aid and your servicer time to fully process these so you don't miss the deadline. Also, a PSLF update, new employer rules on the horizon. PSLF is not going anywhere. It's a very sturdy program. It was written into law, but the thing that's changing, employer eligibility rule. So some of you may have maybe heard, and the One Big Beautiful Bill does have some employer eligibility updates. And the Department of Education is going to deny certain employers that they deem as being tied to a legal activity. Just know most public servants will not be affected. So this is definitely going to be like a percentage, but we will keep everyone posted on when this information gets out and which employers this will affect. I like to stop here to see if anyone has any questions that we can answer. We're still going through and getting to these questions. April, since you have a Savvy account, I would press contact support so we can figure out what's going on with that form since you haven't heard back anything. Ken, I just need some more information on what your question is. Let me know. You can find the IDR online. You can go through Federal Student Aid to find an IDR application or even your servicer website. Chris, you will receive a notification on when your loans will be forgiven through income-based repayment. Patricia, we can help you submit the IDR if you need help with that, since you're saying you have 1 month left. I believe that's because your recertification date is in 1 month. Lyle, yeah, you can combine direct loans with Parent Plus loans. That's not something we recommend, though. You can just leave the direct loans alone and then consolidate the Plus loans by themselves. Carol, you can find the ECF form on the Federal Student Aid website. Or if you would like to go through Savvy, we have that information on our website. Brenda, we do help out with disability forgiveness. You could always create your Savvy account and reach out to us to see if you qualify. Wanda, any IDRs qualify for public service loan forgiveness? No, you can't get one-on-one help with the DIY plan. During the second half of the presentation, I get into the different plans and what we offer. And I also get into how you can contact us. Yes, this is being recorded. Yes, everyone here will be receiving an email on how to sign up. Joanna says, is Savvy or anyone advocating for student and repayment plans or reviewing forgiveness? I am unclear on this question. Advocating for student and repayment plans? Advocating how? What do you mean by advocating for repayment plans or reviewing forgiveness? I'm kind of confused. Give me a little bit more information to improve the situation. I definitely think our policy team is they're constantly advocating. Like our policy team is very in tune with everything going on and also we constantly have webinars, we constantly have events, we're constantly going to different like universities and colleges to speak out about student loan forgiveness. So yeah, 100%. Yeah, we can help you if you are on Social Security disability. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate you. Thank you, Patricia. Yes, Natalie, there are requirements for qualifying. Which program are you referring to? Yes, exactly, Felicia. That's a great like kind of summary on what we do. If you sign up, we will guide you through loan forgiveness and lowering your payment as well. You're welcome. Yeah, Joanna, I as much as we can do, we definitely are challenging the government. That is a huge job, but here at Savvy, we do what we can. Natalie, if you're not sure, I get into how to create your Savvy account on the second half of the presentation, so you can just reach out to us so we can look into what's going on. So a lot of options can definitely leave you lost. It can be, we can just tell even from these questions, like it can be very, very confusing and overwhelming because it does seem like so much is changing in the student loan space. And that's exactly why our founders created Savvy. So you're able to see what you're eligible for, whether that be a repayment plan that's lower than what you're paying or forgiveness options. We're always monitoring for new programs and policy changes to benefit our users. And then also just the more paperwork aspect of what we do here at Savvy. Whenever you need anything submitted to federal student aid or your servicer, we will fill out those forms on your behalf and make sure that they are correct and nothing is missing, so they're processed correctly. We work directly with employers to get the employment certification form signed, which is a major benefit. Make sure that you reach forgiveness on time. And then also you have access to our support team, whether that is through live chat or email or phone call. So I will get into how to create your account now. It's very simple to get started. You're going to start your application, fill out all the info. That's when you see your options and you're able to start submitting and saving. We don't have an app, unfortunately, but I believe our engineers are working on one. So if you would like to go to this website, this is how and where you create your Savvy account, aarp.org/student loans. Like I said in the very beginning, you can definitely just focus on the webinar. You don't have to create your account now. Everyone here will be getting an email after on how to sign up. So you could always just watch the webinar now and then create your account after. So when you go to this website, you will see this over here in the right-hand corner. you have to fill out this information, your expected income and your monthly federal student loan payment. Press get started. If you already are an AARP member, you can log in. It will prompt you to log in. And if you're not an AARP member, you can become one. Now I just have a few screenshots to get you guys more familiar with the Savvy application before you do it on your own. And kind of the questions that we asked. Family section to figure out your family size and your tax filing status. Income, pretty straightforward. Employment, this is important for those pursuing teacher and public service loan forgiveness because we do need to verify your employer's eligibility and reach out to them to get your forms filled out and signed. We have a loan sync section. This goes back to the very beginning when I was talking about loan type. We just want to verify your loan type to make sure that you have eligible loans. And if you don't, we will walk you through that consolidation process. And then this is the plan options page. Once you fill out all the information, the Savvy software will determine your eligibility. So you were able to see the plans that you qualify for, the name of the plan, how much you're going to be paying monthly, how much you'll be paying total, how many months and years it will take you to receive forgiveness, and the expected amount of forgiveness. Now getting into the membership tiers. We have DIY, Essential, and Pro. Um, because you're going through AARP, the Essential and Pro plans, which are paid plans, are discounted. I will start with DIY. DIY is always free. I think DIY is a great option to start with. A lot of people do start with DIY because they want to see what they qualify for. And also, we still provide you the forms if you would like to fill them out on your behalf and submit them yourself. So, Savvy DIY is still a great program. You still have access to our webinars, and you also have access to our help center, and that's where we post a lot of information about policy updates, etc. And also going back to this plan options page, you are still able to create your account and fill out all the information and get to this plan options page for free through DIY. That's why I say a lot of people start with it because they just want to see what type of forgiveness they qualify for before actually paying for their Savvy account. Now, getting into Essential and Pro, Essential is our most popular plan. It's going to be $75 a year. You do receive like the bulk of what we do here at Savvy. That's why I think it's the most popular. But you don't have any forms to complete. Everything is automated. Anything you need submitted to your servicer is filled out by us. We are constantly monitoring your loan so they stay in good standing. And you do have access to our team, like I said, whether that's live chat or email or phone call. And also with these two paid plans, Essential and Pro, there is a money back guarantee. So if you do sign up and you realize Savvy isn't for you, there is a money back guarantee. Pro is the next tier up. You do get a little bit more with Pro. It's $175 a year. You have access to a financial planner. You have a student loan review. You're able to ask questions one-on-one. So this is different than the Essential Calling Center. Pro is going to be like a one-on-one session. For example, I'm a manager. I'm a customer success manager here. I have a lot of Pro calls every week. So it's like I believe it's 30 minutes, but that's just like the average. We can always go over, but it's basically someone from our customer success team and you get all of your questions answered. You still get everything with Essential. And let me know if anyone has any questions on these membership tiers. This is a screenshot of kind of how a paid membership works. You can see how this user, for example, has 3 ECFs that they need to generate. They just have to press this button and then we take care of the rest in terms of reaching out to that employer to get your forms filled out and signed. Same goes for an income-driven repayment plan you can see here on the right. This is the first page of the application. You see how everything is filled out already for this user. You just have to go in and fill out your social security number. And this is a screenshot of the dashboard. I know a lot of Savvy members are already enrolled in IDR plans, and they just want to use Savvy to generate an employment certification form. If that sounds like you can always just press this button here. If you're joining Savvy because you are interested to see which IDR plans you qualify for, interested in seeing if we can lower your payment, then you would click this button here. We have application monitoring. Let's say you don't have time to hop on live chat or book a phone call and you want to see the status of your forms. That is something that we show you on your account. We make it very easy for you to reach out to us. We have a help center, we have email, we have live chat. We do have an opportunity for AARP users to get access to a call with Khadijah. This is great. Space is limited, so everyone here will be receiving an email on how to do this. If you want one-on-one help creating your Savvy account, then just book this call with Khadijah. She can walk you through the process. Yeah, and she basically just helps you set up your account and enrolls you in a plan. You're welcome, Kathy. Okay, here we go. Here is a screenshot again if you would like to scan this QR code to create your account. You could also go to the website. Here it is again. No, Natalie, you don't have to be 50 plus. Thank you, Yuri. Yeah, with Khadijah, there's only one call with Khadijah. But for example, if you are a Savvy Pro member, there's unlimited phone calls. Melissa, you can find that out from your federal student aid account. April, it's $75 a year. Brenda, there's no texting. We don't offer services or help through texting, but with the Essential Plan, there is a calling center that you have access to. That information will be in your Savvy account once you create it. You're welcome. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Yuri. Kimberly, you don't have to sign up for Savvy. That is definitely a choice you have. We are not forcing you to sign up. Yes, Katrina, you can cancel whenever. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Wanda. Yeah, Charlotte, I believe anyone can become an AARP member. I don't think you have to be over 50, to my knowledge. I would definitely like reach out to your HR if you have, if just to make sure, but to my knowledge, you can definitely be under 50 if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, Katrina. Okay, Tamara says yes, she signed up before 50. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Lauren. Lola, when you create your Savvy account, there's going to be contact support, and that's how you reach out to us. Yeah, Gwendolyn, it could definitely be so overwhelming. And I think that Savvy's a great program just to kind of it helps just explain forgiveness, I feel like, and also just like make sure that we guide you in the right direction because I feel like if you're doing it by yourself, it could be so overwhelming. And then I feel like you're also always going to be constantly second guessing yourself. Um, basically just thinking, oh, is this the right program? Like, oh, is this saving me the most money? But with the Savvy software, we're able to calculate all those things for you. So you can have the confidence knowing you are making the best choice for your loans. Brenda, we can help you do that. So, Shirley, public service loan forgiveness, you actually can't be retired. You do need to be currently working. So in terms of what you can qualify for now, we can look into some teacher loan forgiveness and some IDR forgiveness. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, Gwendolyn, awesome. Thank you, Rob. Betty, so it depends. Is the loan in your name or your daughter's name? Because if the loan is in your daughter's name, she will need to create her own Savvy account and submit the consolidation. Thank you, Cheryl. Tamara, yeah, thank you. You could definitely like maybe just sign up now or even like on the 13th since you get off of forbearance on the 14th. So we can help you submit anything you need help submitting. Tanya, yeah, it's okay if you have $0 payments if that's what you qualify for. Um, but yeah, your interest will grow even if you have a $0 payment. So obviously, like you're not making payments, so over time your interest is still growing. But that is definitely something you have to consider, seeing your loan balance grow over the years. But since you are pursuing forgiveness, you also know that down the line that balance will be forgiven. But yeah, a lot of people that are in IDRs, your payment does not scratch any of the interest that's growing. Yes, Reesh, that is a good point. If your name has changed, we still get your forms filled out and signed. And as long as the company was a nonprofit while you were working there, that time period will be certified. Cheryl, you can look into some teacher loan forgiveness, and that is something that we can help you with. But for public service loan forgiveness, no, you do have to be currently working in public service. We do partner with a few refinancing companies. That's honestly as far as we go with private loans, basically just putting you in the direction of a refinancing company to help lower your interest rate. Yes, Charlotte, she can still access this help since you're an AARP member. You can always invite her to use Savvy, and we can help you do that. Thank you, Lyle. Betty, I know I got into the membership fees, but being through Savvy being only one of the loans is joint with our daughter. So there's really no joint loan. So the loan is only in one person's name. So I'm assuming that maybe it's in your daughter's name, but maybe you co-signed on it. But even though you co-signed the loan would still be in your daughter's name. So she would have to create her own Savvy account. Yes, Martha, this is being recorded. Thank you, Marvin. No, Kimberly. Tony, yeah, the save for forgiveness at the 20-year mark is going away because save is going away. Thank you, Betty. Yes. Thank you, Charlotte. Brenda, I'm sorry about that. Can you reach out to us so we can make sure you get that discounted amount? Wilson, do you have a Savvy account? You say renew. Reach out to us so we can help you get that upgrade. Okay, Brenda, that sounds good. Kimberly, yeah, at least with the Khadijah phone call, that's only one phone call. If the loan, if the loans are in your daughter's name, she will need to create her own Savvy account. We don't do much with private loans, but we do partner with refinancing companies to lead you in the right direction if you would like to refinance your private loans. We don't have a phone number. If you're a pro member, there's a button to create your to book a phone call. And then calling center information is also within your Savvy account. Okay, looks like there's about 5 more minutes. I will stay live to see if anything comes up. Until then, I really do appreciate all of these questions. Thank you, April. If something does pop in your head after, you can always create your Savvy accounts. There is a money back guarantee. So if you do sign up and realize it's not for you, just know that you can get your money back. Thank you, Natalie. John, not off the top of my head, but we can always email you that information once you create your account. Thank you, Tony. Reesh, what is post-class group? I don't know if I know what that is. Post-class group? Joanna, you will receive an email with the link to book a call with Khadijah. That is coming after the webinar. Thank you. Thank you. You too. You can't consolidate private loans. I would go to your federal student aid account to see, that's where you can find out where your loans are. We can also help you do that as well. Oh, when you go to Nelnet, it says it's zero. Were you pursuing any type of forgiveness by chance? Hmm. Have you tried contacting Nelnet or like have you received any correspondence? So maybe your loans were forgiven, honestly. I am not familiar with that, Rish. What is that? Thank you, Adrian. Deborah, yeah, reach out to us so we can help you with that. No, we don't do much with so consolidation is different than refinancing. Um But yeah, you can't consolidate private loans, but we do partner with different refinancing companies. And if you create your Savvy account, we can give you that information. Thanks, Betty. Thank you, Michelle. So it looks like we're at the hour mark. I really do appreciate everyone's time and I appreciate everyone's question. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their Tuesday. Yes, Barbara, you can pursue IDR forgiveness since you're not full-time in public service. You have to be working full-time to get that public service loan forgiveness. Unfortunately, you can't be retired from public service. You're welcome. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, April.